What's going on, guys? If I was back for the next part of this tutorial where we're going to get the ant in the game and hopefully get him set up with some basics for some movement and stuff like that. So I got all the stuff here. The first thing I'm actually going to do is bring in the skeletal mesh by itself, so I can define the skeleton and figure everything out. So we want the mesh, we want it as skeletal. Let's drop down any of these. Okay, they're pointing down. I gotta click on them. Let's see, just to double check if there's anything weird. We'll go ahead and create the physics asset. I don't have mesh LODs. We'll probably do that later. Not gonna do this, not gonna do that. Don't want any materials or textures or anything like that. We'll just go ahead and hit import. He should come in the funky pose here. The material I've built already should work on him. Let's give that a hopeful try. It's got to compile for skeletal mesh. There we go. He looks pretty good. Alright, let's get those animations in. So I'm going to bring all of them in, the root motion, and I'm going to test back and forth here. So we need a new folder, and we'll call this animations, or actually anims. Okay, let go there. Skeleton, we choose our ant SK mesh skeleton. Length, imported time, everything stays the same. And we import all. Alright, there he is idle. Looking handsome. There he is walking forward, L normal. Pretty cool. And then he's walking on a line with root motion. So I'm assuming if I say bump that he no longer walks forward, and now this animation will translate into the movement. I don't know how that works yet, so I'm very anxious to give it a shot, right? So let's create a blend space 1D for now. We may do this differently later. Put it in the same anims folder, and we'll call this ant move blend 1D. May give him the ability to strafe or not. So we're only going to let him move forward for now. We're just a very simple test. We want a vertical thing here, and we'll just say velocity. I should actually call that forward velocity, but for now that's okay. So we'll make sure we click apply the changes. We'll stick idle at the bottom, and we'll stick walk forward RM up at the top. Okay, so he'll blend between. All right, very little movement there. Alright, that should be fine. So we can actually right click all those, save that. Actually, let's do a quick save on the mesh and all of these assets. I'm not going to mess with the physics asset yet, but let's just take a funny look at what's going to happen. This is going to be down the road. We're going to have to fix this. You can even pick up the bones in the leg. I'm sure if I simulate, it's going to be very stable. That's actually creepy with the way the legs do that, to be honest. But let's not get fixated. Let's go straight into all the stuff we need. Okay, so blueprints, new blueprint class. Yep, it's gonna be a character. I'm gonna, by the way, I'm doing the ant from scratch on purpose, actually for the project, not even to do with the fact that I want to do the video from scratch, because I do, but I'm doing it from scratch. So I want these ants to be a completely different behavior. These are going to be created now off of techniques that I didn't have back then. in some ways. Not a lot of them, but I don't want these to behave in any way like the others. So these have a very specific purpose. So this is going to be ant character BP. Okay, let's go in here and let's set some stuff up real quick. Let's pull that down and back up. Let's get the mesh. SK mesh. I'll pop that in there. He's very small. So probably should go into the top view for this. I'm actually going to hold right here on doing that any further. Actually, I got to do this off of here. So off of this, I'm going to create an anim blueprint. Okay, this is going to be anim BP, and we're going to drag that to blueprints and say move here. Okay, let's go to the asset browser. Let's grab that move blend. Let's just toss it in. Let's go to the event graph. Whoa, what's it doing? Stop it. It's like wiggling on me. Okay, let's event initialize animation. Let's do this real quick. Cast to ant. Promote to variable. We'll say ant, so character, okay. Don't need that shit anymore. So now what we can do is we can say get velocity and vector length, and I don't think I have a variable yet, so let's just promote it. And we will actually do forward speed here. And that's really all we need. We just need to get that, because in the anim graph we just plug this right there. And if we compile, he should be animating, and when I mess with forward speed, which I can't do, and I don't understand why this breaks. It's weird. I don't need that, but I guess it makes sense. I really I could probably just do this right here, but I don't like doing the try get pawn owner on every frame. This is a tick. This thing ticks. So these things have to be super efficient as much as possible. So anything I can get out to do the one time, now I just have a reference to it every time, is way better. Okay, so I mean, at least I think. I don't really know. Let's just see what happens there. Okay, now we can come back here and we can actually come back to the mesh, and we should be able to pick that blueprint and anim BP, and you can see he immediately takes on the animation, which is cool. And now I can figure out where I want this. What's he doing? No. Something like that. Alright, let's go to perspective. Okay, let's get that height down. Give it a little bit, and then because that's basically the roots, I need to move the mesh. So we'll do that in the side view. As close as I can get, so I'm thinking I'll move him up just a hair so he floats if anything. He's X forward. Perfect. Right? Okay, he's going to need a pawn sensing component and stuff like that. He's going to need a lot of behavior. He looks badass. I'm sorry, but he looks cool as shit. I'm very proud of him. He's doing good. You're a good little boy. I did mess up under here. I haven't fixed it yet. Right here. There's all kinds of crazy ugly seams and shit going on, so I may or may not fix that. But anyways, looking good, looking good. Alright, good, good, good. Event graph. Okay, so we need an AI controller. So we'll come here and we need one of these. What's it doing? Well, I got cancel. Do I gotta pick one of these? Hang on. Oh, is it just player controller? It's just player controller. Stupid dumbass. I thought it was AI controller. I could have. Yeah, AI controller. What the fuck? Where is that? Sorry for the swearing. Oh, maybe it's here. Nope. That's way off the screen, I know. I'm sorry. That's just these. I need to make these anyway, but yeah, I don't see it anywhere else. So I thought I had to go like this. And then AI controller, but when I pick that now below me. Maybe maybe if I go back and look at it, I'll see what I did wrong and get real red in the face and everything, but whatever. I didn't see it that time. AI controller. Yeah, it's fine. Alright, now we'll get that open. Now we need to create those other ones here. So I'm trying to get this in good, but it's down at the bottom of the list. There's artificial intelligence. I don't know if this is being cut off. There's behavior tree, blackboard, and environment query. We're actually not going to use EQS for the AMP. We don't need it. Really, they're not smart enough. But we do need a behavior tree and a blackboard for pretty much every AI. Oh, I'm filtering like a dummy. So let's create a new blueprint class. Wait, I could have swore I did that. Behavior tree. Why didn't it? I don't know what's going wrong. Ant BT. Okay, artificial intelligence, blackboard. Ant BB. Okay, BBBT. And the let's see, the blackboard. We'll make a new key real quick. We'll call that object, and we'll call this target actor. We'll just leave it like that. That's all we're going to add to it for now. The behavior tree, we don't have anything going on here yet, so but we need to get the AI controller to work. So first things first, we need to tell this blueprint here what AI controller is. So it's the Ant AI controller. Now it will auto possess by this controller. Very handy. And on the actual controller, which doesn't have any, shouldn't have anything in here, doesn't have any physical presence for the most part, can do some stuff here like run behavior tree and set I don't know what we can do with the blackboard. Use blackboard. Okay, so we just type behavior tree and then blackboard because we know we need them, because we were told by hitpause that we need them. That's the only reason we remember, because someone told us, right? That's the only reason I remember. So we can pick the ant blackboard and the ant behavior tree. You can see I have quite a few going on now: wasp, spider, ratsy, and the director. So in this case, we're going to go with the ant, and we're going to promote it. I should have started typing ant blackboard. I probably don't need to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway, just in case I need to get it. Because the blackboard is where you write and run to. You don't really ever do anything to this later. This is constantly scanning the blackboard. That's how it works. The tree scans the blackboard. Okay. Target self, that's fine, I think. Compile. Okay, so what we can do is, let's close this, and we'll go here because we can always swap back and forth. Okay, we'll go to the behavior tree, and what we'll do is we'll add a selector first, and then from there we will do a sequence. Okay, and the sequence will have a task of wait. I have quite a few tasks going on now, and then we will create a new task. This will be BTT task blueprint base. Okay, you can see it's here. We can find in the content browser, and we are at least in the same folder, and we'll call this BTT ant wander. So we're just going to get them to wander around for now. Okay, and in here, receive execute AI is what we want. We don't really need the tick. And basically what we're going to do is get random, I don't really know. I guess this means that if there's a break 2 there, it won't go, so I'll pick that one. So the origin, we'll take the controlled pawn, get location. The radius, I don't know. Nav data, we don't care, or any of that other stuff, we don't care. So then we're going to do AI move to destination, controlled pawn, acceptance radius will be about 50. Okay. We will say finish execute. I duplicated something. When I hit Control W, nothing happened the first time. That worries me. Okay, well, whatever. So on success, we go there, and that should be about it. So we go back to the behavior tree, and now we can pull up in a task, and we should have that BTT ant wander. And then when he gets there, he'll wait anywhere from 5 to 15 seconds. Okay, plus or minus 5, and that's all he's going to do. Let's go ahead and save everything. Okay, so I should have named this differently, but I'm going to drop this in the world, and I'm actually going to turn off my spider spawner, and I'm going to simulate. It's a long time you're waiting there, buddy. Oh shit, scared me. Dang, he's fast. Okay, he's entirely too fast. So we can do that in the character movement fairly easily. Let's just clear this filter, and default movement mode is walking. We don't have him falling or anything like that yet. We need animations and things for that, but let's max walk speed. Let's go ahead and actually set that to like 100. Very slow, very slow. And 50. I'm actually going to give him a sneaking version. And we'll leave it at that for now. Now there's a couple other things we want to do. We want to try to get it so that he spins in place. That he turns instead of snaps, because let's take a look real quick. They covered this in a Twitch stream on how to do it. But whenever he changes direction, right now he's going around stuff. But whenever he stops, whenever he picks a new direction, you'll see that he's just going to immediately be going and facing in that direction. Immediately. See, it was instantaneous, like he's a Tron cycle. So we can fix that with some stuff that we have to. Let's make sure we show all advanced options, and we'll just go through real quick, because there's some stuff about the rotation, like the rotation rate, and a lot of it's in the character movement. But like, see, the rotation rate here is like 360. It should be like more like 100. I think we do check that. Here's the thing, I'm going to cheat, I'm sorry, but I'm going to do it because I've done it already and I don't want to sit here and guess. What did I just open? The skeleton? Where's his blueprints? Okay, I'm going to move this off to the other screen for me so that I can do a little bit quick of a comparison. And we want to be here and here. Click it again. Now let me expand that some. Okay, so orient rotation to movement is checked. I'm just looking for the things that aren't default, right? Anything that has one of these on there, it's been changed. So that's what I'm looking for over here on the right. Maintain horizontal ground velocity. I took that off because I didn't want him going faster up ramps. Use RVO avoidance. That was not checked by default. Interesting. And I would 0.5. I don't know why, but I did that on the spider, so. And let me check here. Okay, so on self, the other thing we need to do is turn this off. And I believe that's it. Placed in world or spawned, auto possess AI. See, I think if you have this set like this, I think this is new. I've never seen this before. Whenever you spawn an AI, you always have to spawn a default controller for it if it's been spawned. Otherwise, it never works. It just sits there. This actually gives it the AI controller. The AI controller takes over as it. But without this, the AI controller can't act as anything because this thing doesn't know that it has a controller when it gets spawned. It's not a natural thing that happens. But I think, and this is just out of curiosity, I think that this, placed in world or spawned, is new, and I think that takes care of that. I'm going to test it. Which, the only way to test it is I got to spawn these instead of, So I guess I could just spawn a buddy to my right and spawn me another one, on begin play, right? And to see if he moves around. Yeah, let's try that. Spawn AI from class. We'll pick the ants. Let's say get actor rotation. Get right vector. This is just a quick test, just to make sure. I want to test that. This is really cool if it does do that now, because we don't have to worry about it anymore. Get actor location. And plus times, we'll say like 500 units to my side. And that'll be the location. And rotation will just match my rotation. So what used to have to happen was you had to say spawn default controller. You had to do this. That's cool. Okay, I'm curious. There should be one that appears right away, and he should take off too. I think it's thinking or crashing. Thinking or crashing. We got a freeze up here on the animation of the little graduation cap signaling that there's new information or a tutorial available. When that freezes, as you can see, it is up here. It's just solid frozen. That means that the system's hung, but it doesn't mean it's always crashed. It can come back. Very often does, but a lot of times it means it's dead. So I'm going to pause while it's waiting. Okay, well it was dead in the water. I don't know what happened. I had to kill the process, and when I came back and opened it again, this came open as a data-only blueprint, which I thought was kind of weird. Since when I said, okay, open the full editor, that it came in with my edits, which I thought I'd maybe lost. But I did lose what I'd done with the other ant in the beginning. And that was crashing it, maybe. Maybe that's not what was crashing it. Let's plop another one in. He's trucking around, but he's going way fast. I gotta turn off my spiders. Actually, let me turn on the spiders, and you can see that the spiders are moving correctly. They don't have a turn in place animation, so you have to ignore that. But what you can see is that before they make a new turn, I'm trying to find one that stopped. Let's see, when he makes a move, which might actually take a while, I actually have him idling for like upwards of 30 seconds. But there, see, he did it. I don't know if you saw that, but let's watch this guy. He should be due for a turn here any second. When he goes to go about a new direction, see, he spins first and then he goes. That's what I want. The ant, he ain't, I don't think he's doing that. He won't turn and then take off. He'll just take off. See, he's gone. So we gotta fix that, and I could have swore I did, but let me fix that again real quick. Now I'll show you everything I exactly checked. Okay, I think I got him fixed. Okay, he stopped. If he picks a new direction, he should turn. See, now he turns. So we got to get the he might be a little small. No, he's actually a fairly good size. Watch these guys jump. Boing! And then they'll shoot at me. If I jump, they jump. I gotta fix that. They're not supposed to do that. I did that so that if I'm like up here, they'll come up here. See, they starts yelling, "You're higher than me," so I'm auto jumping. So now they come up here with me. It's scary, and they're launching at me. There's like no safe place for me now, which is what I wanted. I wanted to make sure I couldn't get to wherever. Let's see if I can get one up on here with me. Yep, they're making it on here, so they're going after my ass. So there's like no safe place when they do that, but right now they're not checking if I'm in the air. They should check as long as if I'm not in the air and I'm higher than them, then they should jump. And they should actually get closer before they do it, because they'll do it from way out here. Oh, he's higher than me, doing. You know, it's stupid. So our ant is working. He's moving around. I wanna kind of experiment a little bit with that root motion stuff, because it doesn't seem to be working. I can kind of test that by, let's see. See, right now his max walk speed's 100. I'm actually gonna say like pull that down to like 20 and 10. But in turn, that means I have to go here, come to the animation to my move blend, and I gotta pull this. Actually, I'm gonna delete that one. Change this to 10, apply the parameter changes, and then I'll pull that root motion one in. Okay, so he lowers down a little bit. His feet seem to kind of sink a little bit, but maybe that's just the animation. Yeah, it's just the animation, so maybe I gotta raise his feet up a little or something. I don't know. We'll see. But I just fixed that right now so that it would go all from 0 to 10. I want him to move real slow. I want to see if that scales the speed of the animation, or if the animation just keeps trucking along. It does. He's got blasted out of the way. He's floating something fierce. fix that real quick. That doesn't make sense. Oh, my mouse died. Okay. So that's about, it should be about even. So move him down just a hair more, and then I'll make sure that this gets 0. I did move him significantly forward, so I want to keep that. Oops. Perspective, please. Let me just test that real quick. Where is he? He raises up. Let's see when he stops. He's going so slow now, though. See the difference in style here? Like, this was rats from 10 years ago. Yeah, he's raised up. Did I do that in the animation? Feet planted in idle. All feet on the ground in idle. So is it because the root's moved and I'm using root motion? Is it because the root's gone down? It might be the case. Like, we can test that, I think. Because when I look at this, let's try to slow that camera down. See, those are coming up and then going down. So that's because I used the root motion version, right? Well, let's use this version. Well, it's the idle that's still down, but that one's still down too, right? Yeah, so the root motion is pulling them up. So the bobbing that I have in the body going up and down is actually going to make the cylinder bob up and down, which is going to make his whole body lift up and down off the ground, right? I can't use this root motion version like this. If I do that, I have to have another bone that's the root. Right? I have no choice. I have to have another bone that's the root, and that has to take on the position and animate linearly. And I lose the ability in cat to say walk on line or not. I now have to link and unlink some shit. So maybe in this case I'm just going to take the ant forward, because at least it's the same height. And the root motion was scaling the animation though. But let's see what happens with this one. When he walks. Now obviously I'm going to have to raise him up a little bit. If I hit end here, that's as far down as that seems to want to go. Let's just see. Yeah, so he's in the ground now. And it is still scaling the animation. Not as good though. You can see if I try to match it on the reason I'm putting it here is you can see the legs drifting away towards and away from the edge of the screen. They should never do that. They should go towards and then stop, because they're locked in place, but that's not happening. So that's why I look at that that way. So the speed of the animation is not synced to him going at full speed. And the only way to do that is to do that with root motion. So the only way to do that is, because root motion is perfect, because the faster he goes, the animation speeds up to catch up. It has to. So the cycle continues. It's a full foot plant. and it shouldn't get broken. So what I got to do is figure out where this thing is. And what I might be able to do is this. Myself a box, put it to 0, 0, 0. Link it to the body. Okay. Put the animation all the way to the end. Find its X position here. Copy it. And we'll unlink it. Well, it should stay there now. Okay. So now we know how far he's got to go. Right? So there's our marker. So then we need a root object. I'm going to hide this thing. We'll use a pyramid. Okay, we'll zero it out, make sure. Make sure its rotation's all zeros. Okay, in view here, this is all zeros. And then what we'll do is, just so it looks better, we'll affect the object, which is just the geometry, not the pivot or anything. I'll hit A for angle snap, and I'll just pull this down so I can see which way it's pointing forward. And now I think I can take this to there. Okay, now if I take this and I say, I'm not sure I can do this, I might have to do a link constraint, and it's a strange thing in here. Say walk on spot. Okay, so he should stay there, but if I move this, oh, he's not going with it. He's linked, but he ain't going with it. Okay, so let me undo until the link is gone. Alright, what I gotta do is a link constraint, and there's ways to do that here. There's like a sign controller, and what you have to do is, I may do this as a local layer on top of everything. I think that's going to be the best thing to do. A local, or maybe a world. Not sure. We'll try world first. So we're on this layer. So what we do is we go to, I think it's here, adjustment world, and we hit assign controller, and then we say link constraint, and we hit OK, and that gives us the link stuff. So now we can add a link to this. Okay, we just turn that off, and now I'm not sure if it takes effect exactly yet, but it sure looks like it does, right? So the other thing we got to do is we got to do each of these, and that's a little unfortunate. So we just click here. I think we got to find the adjustment world so we can assign it to that layer. Link constraint, add link, boom, boom. So I got to do all of them, and it shouldn't affect. You can see the animation. Why is that still moving forward? I told you to stop. Walk on spot. Okay, but if I move this, you see the leg I've done and the body are going with it now. Okay, so let me link them all. I'm just going to do the same thing like I've shown here. Just drop this down, find my adjustment world, be on the right layer here as well, and now it'll activate. Okay, and I'm going to go from there. Okay, I've done the linking, and now, as you can see, everything goes with this object. Now, the one thing to keep in mind is that I also need to actually adjust the hierarchy. So hopefully that doesn't break anything. It doesn't seem to, and it's now all under pyramid. I'm going to rename pyramid to b_root. Okay, so now what I should be able to do is, over the course of 100 frames, auto key, I should be able to align this in just the X position, and just go pivot to pivot, and we hit OK. Now what you'll notice is right around here we get a lot of slipping in the feet. Right around here it seems okay, but there's some drift. There's some drift there, right? And there's going to be a lot of it in the beginning as well. Okay, he's like he's on ice, and now he's on ice. And the reason is because this has a very soft ease in and out, in which case we want linear. And now we should see every foot perfectly planted, just like root original motion. And we used a marker to get there. So now we have root motion with a root object that doesn't bounce up and down and doesn't get moved up and down based on the animation, because this, I'm sorry to say, let me hit save just in case something freaks out, I need to have the freedom to do this, to move him up and down like this. We all need that freedom in your animals. So if I move this up and then root motion is going to pop this down and all of a sudden my character's floating up in the air, I don't like that. So we need this. So given that, we actually have to, unfortunately, redo the skeleton. We have to redo the skeletal mesh. So what I may do, I need to come back here, click this, control page down, and grab the mesh. I'm going to export selected, and in this case I'm tempted to say part 2, but this is a big thing. I just changed the entire root structure of the whole skeleton. Let's see what happens. I'm just going to overwrite. It's converting it to a mesh, that's fine. We'll come back to here, go to mesh. Actually, I think I can just re-import, but I'm not sure that's gonna do it. Is missing bones at skeletal mesh? Now, please save the skeleton. Inserting bone between nodes. Now this is exactly what I did, a significant hierarchical change. Would you like to regenerate skeleton from this mesh? Warning, this will require recompress all animation data and potentially invalidate. I'm going to let the computer figure it out. Yeah. That's what happens when you let the computer figure it out. It looks like any of the transformers in mid-transformation. It's just a mess of shit. Alright, so that didn't do me any good. Let's try bringing it in again. This time, like this. Yes. Import. Okay. This is, he's trying to animate, that's part of the problem. So let's see about, doing one of the animations. So what is he doing right now? Okay, he's walking in line, right? So let's take that. Okay, and then what we can do, well, this is kind of shitty, but essentially we just delete that keyframe right here, and he won't move anymore. So I'll do that for run in place. And again, if I ever need to put it back, I can just link it at the frame. I can just align it. I can keep that marker in the scene. And now we want to do the idle. Oh, I didn't have the walk details on. Okay, well, let's just do idle. I don't care about the walk details right now. Okay, so they're all done with the new skeleton now. Oh, I don't wanna, actually I can do that from here. Like that. Well, I didn't like that at all. Note to everyone, right? This is a static mesh, by the way. This is actually what they look like when you smash them. So that ain't working too well. I'm gonna have to maybe there's something else I can do. Maybe maybe I can update this a different way. Yes. Okay, I'm gonna pick the ant skeleton, but I'm actually gonna say update. Not gonna bring in any animations. I'm just gonna import that. Try that. Okay. Now what about bringing in one of these guys off of that skeleton? Was that enough to trick it? Okay, couldn't find the bind pose. Alright. Shit, man. Fuck. I gotta re-import. The thing is I gotta re-import it as a second asset. Like, fucking, like that, for real. Take two. Okay, and I can't do that. Gotta do just the mesh first, so you can pick the skeleton, I think. Okay, this is gonna be tricky because I'm gonna have two of them on my list, but they should say take two. You can see on the path there. This one doesn't say that. This one does. Could not find the bind pose. Is this one fucker too? Alright, what am I doing wrong? Oh, wait, hang on. I am using the animation. Is it seriously? That should just be converting it to a mesh. Okay, I need to look at this skeleton real quick. Yeah, I mean, it's all there. It's all fine. It shouldn't matter what the fuck the bones are made out of, whether or not they're cat hubs or... Let me get that out of here. Which one was I exporting? Idle, right? God damn it. Take 2. Fucking what the hell? Oh, well there's a problem. It just didn't count it as a bone by doing that. Fucking asshole. That me, by the way. I'm the asshole. You're the asshole. And everything else I'm gonna leave. Ah, fucking balls on a stick. Why's that happening? They have the same fucking skeleton. Oh wait, hang on. No, see, it's like not registering as this. Hang on. If I pop that open and show the skeleton, and then I hit. Well, it's not an animation though. Wait, what am I doing wrong? Am I not bringing it in as an animation? Am I bringing it in as a fucking mesh like the biggest asshole in the universe? God damn it. Alright. Get off my... I had you unchecked last time. You should remember that. You better remember it next time. I'm gonna fucking whoop your ass. Import. Oh god. Oh god. Oh my fucking god. I think I had import mesh checked the whole time. Hang on, let me try to overwrite this. And I'm actually not going to use the take 2. I'm going to use the original one and not do this. Is that what I was doing the whole time? Somebody's going to have to be screaming at the monitor. Oh my god, I did do that. Sorry. Sorry. My fault. Jesus, that was bad. I had this checked on all of them. It should just know that there's no fucking mesh in there. But it's a stupid computer and I'm the smart person. Or one of those words don't fit. Oh, I thought I hit import all. Alright, so these should be okay now. Don't, and he should truck. Do, and he should truck. Okay, so I'm set. So, I'll put that in there now. So now when he blends, he shouldn't, his body, see how his body doesn't dip? Because I fixed that root, and it still bounces up and down. So way better, worth the effort, worth the effort. Didn't even add any complexity into it whatsoever. Alright, so, where is he? Did I not place one? Is that him? So, all that can go. Right? So if we go to the anim blueprint, still feels a little sunk, but I think I have him moved in the original thing, so we'll see. Let's see what happens when we place him in here now. He should be moving fairly slow. He shouldn't be sliding at all. He is though. Yeah, his foot's coming back too fast. If you look at it versus the edge of the screen, it's coming back too fast. That root motion shit ain't working. What's actually happening is, what is working is this blend here. This is what's working. It doesn't have really much of dick to do with the root motion, so I need to actually look that up to figure it out. I think I'm going to end the video here because I got him moving around, right? I mean, it's a success. I know I got caught up on a few things. I'm sorry. What happens, right? You get stuck on it, and we got to figure it out. I don't feel like I'm okay. There we go. See, we gotta watch out. You know, like I said, I gotta kind of be careful because you can lose his legs. Like right there, he like almost doesn't have any legs, and I don't like that. That's still fairly close to me. I mean, it's almost like not registering on the screen with anything until I start getting closer, you know. And then they look all fuzzy and blurry right now. And then up close you can see them good, but very, very quickly they deteriorate. If you guys want to see something funny before we leave, let's do 100 max concurrent spawns. I need Flight of the Valkyries music. I don't know if I should do it myself. Here, I'll hit F11. Probably be kind of laggy doing that, so let me keep it in a small window. It's going to be funnier. Alright, let's run around for a little bit. Hopefully don't die. We got the little ants. Poor little guys. One of these kids is not like the others. Alright, so we got all these spiders here. Let's try to get to the other side without dying. Oh god. Alright, so here we go. I'm getting away from them. And then jump! Everybody jump! Everybody jump! Look at this shit. Like I said, I gotta make it so they don't register you while you're in the air. They're all still shooting too. Oof, I cannot run in a straight line. Boing! Oh, and also they can jump more than once in the air. I'm not sure how many people noticed that. They can triple, quadruple. They can jump as many times as they want in the air. They're just going to keep doing it. Pretty funny though. Pretty cool. They do it randomly on their own while I'm not in the air, but they only do it about 5% of the time, so still pretty cool and interesting, I think. There's actually a lot more behavior going on in the spider than any of the others right now. I think they got quite a few trees happening here, but it's nothing really complex. It's just I wanted to do this, so I'll just add another branch, and it's that easy. So okay, he's started. I do want to do that turn in place because I don't like the way. Uh-oh, I didn't mean to spawn in. Did I forget to stop recording? I did. Oh my god, what happened? That's a bug. I gotta fix that. Oh shit, I gotta reload. Yeah, look at that, it's a bug. Get it, a bug. But I never noticed that. If I kill them while they're in the air, their parts get all screwed up. My ragdoll and my rat is just abysmal. Anyways, Hippo sign off. Thanks for watching.